Hi everyone, good morning. Today is 22nd of February and I welcome you all to the Hindu newspaper analysis discussion. So guys, in this particular video, we are going to discuss the entire analysis of Hindu newspaper along with all the articles, background information. And in this particular session, we are not only going to cover Hindu, but we are also going to cover articles from other important sources. And we have divided this particular entire session in four parts. First, what we are going to do, we are going to discuss articles relevant for mains examination, then we are going to discuss articles relevant for the prelims examination, and then for mapping today we are going to discuss Germany. Now guys, in this particular session also we are going to discuss a quotation relevant for our essay and answer writing. Also, every day we are going to take the current affair based MCQ questions for practice, and in order to attempt the current affair based MCQ, what you can do from past 2 days, we have started this particular thing that earlier we were giving it here in the video, but now we have brought it on Telegram where you can attempt in the quiz format. So simply you can visit the Telegram channel. Link for Telegram is given in the description box, and there in a quiz format you can attempt the MCQ questions today. These MCQ questions are framed on the basis of the previous day's articles that we have discussed. And attempting these particular questions will ensure that you are attempting this particular session with a lot of attention. Okay, so please do attempt the questions. You will find it at Telegram. Link for Telegram is given in the description box in YouTube. Now guys, every class we start with a GS quotation. So today we are going to take the quotation from Edmund Burke. So Edmund Burke says this: liberty does not exist in the absence of morality. Now guys, understand this thing that yes, you have liberty, you have freedom, but this liberty and this freedom is to be exercised keeping in mind certain basic norms of morality, ethicality. Your liberty should not create nuisance for some other people. Your liberty should not create obstacles, restraint for the other people. So liberty does not mean a sense of license. Rather, liberty comes with responsibility and a sense of morality. You can use this particular idea with respect to GS paper number 4, ethics, integrity and aptitude. And now let's discuss the first article for today. Okay. So guys, the first article that we are going to take is ending discrimination. Ending discrimination. Now this is specifically for the mains examination. This particular article we are going to see with respect to the GS paper number 2, social justice issues related to women. Social justice issues related to the women. Now why this particular article we are going to take? First of all guys, let's understand this thing. So basically, when we talk about guys women, we find this particular thing that a lot of gender discrimination happens with the women, and even in employment lot of such gender discrimination issues are there. Fine. Why these issues are there? First of all, you need to understand it is because of the patriarchal social roles that have been there. Social roles of men and women have been defined on the basis of prejudices and stereotypes, where women have been given the role of care work, they have been given the role of domestic responsibilities. Men, they are supposed to be the breadwinners of family. Men are supposed to be the decision makers. Men are supposed to be having the leadership qualities. So therefore, men have always been preferred in the workplace. But when women started to go to workplace, they were imposed a lot of barriers, and these gender discriminations even still exist. So there is unfair treatment of women employees. Now, in this particular direction, one issue has recently been taken up by Supreme Court. So basically, guys, there is practice in certain avenues where women, unmarried women, are preferred. And there was a similar case of military nursing service. Military nursing service. So actually, what happened? There was a woman by the name of Selina John. Selina John. Now she was removed from the job. She was discharged from the job. Why? Because she got married. She got married. Now this particular matter is to Supreme Court, and Supreme Court has given a judgment in this particular matter saying that terminating employment based on marital status, it is clear form of gender discrimination. It undermines human dignity. It is a sense of a discrimination. Fine. Now to choose a life partner and to live with that person is one's fundamental choice, and how you can restrict a person to make such kind of a choice? So this is a kind of a discrimination, and court has said that this is wrong, and even a 60 lakh rupees compensation has been ordered for Selina John. Now when we talk about, guys, government as well as army, they have done a lot of advancements for the women in the armed forces. For example, there is the permanent commission that has already been brought. Now, before the permanent commission, women were allowed in the army only on the short service commission, and because of that they were not able to get the pensions and a lot of benefits, secured tenured job. But they have been given the permanent commission in 2021. Okay, but still such kind of discriminatory practices exist. Now, guys, it has been provided that not only this is a situation in the armed forces, but in other aspects of workplaces also discrimination is there. For example, young women, often they are questioned in their interview that what are their plans with respect to marriage, what are their plans with respect to motherhood. Now, these particular questions are asked so that the employer can make an assessment that whether women is going to take the maternity leave or not. If there is a marriage, whether the woman is going to leave the job, fine. So such kind of things are asked. Now, also, if it if an employer senses that a woman is going to get married soon or might become a mother soon, so they are not given the lucrative opportunity. So their career opportunities depend on their motherhood and marriage, and this again becomes a signs of a gender discrimination or a gender biasness. Now, what can be way forward to deal with these particular issues? Number one, guys, we need to focus on increasing the female labor force participation rate. Female labor force participation rate. So efforts must be made to eliminate educational, employment, and opportunity barriers systemically that are there. We need to come out with such kind of a policies where employers should not be able to discriminate. For example, we came out with the Maternity Benefit Act of 2017, and by the virtue of law we have provided that employer has to give a leave. So in same capacity, even private employers should be made accountable if they are doing any kind of a discrimination. Then the UN Gender Snapshot 2023, what it indicates? It indicates that there is a need of significant course correction to achieve the gender parity. Okay, and again, what it has said? It has said that there needs to be the systemic focus on improving the professional disparities. Then government can play a very important role. Government can play an important role. Okay, they can come out with the schemes in the direction of Nari Shakti, but at the same time government capacity will be limited until and unless the women are empowered in the society. Okay, then next thing is there that, guys, organize, basically there is the all organizations who on their own needs to take the cognizance of the Supreme Court judgment and should immediately stop if any gender discriminative policies are followed by them. So this is something, guys, that is there in this particular article. I hope that you have understood it, and please use these kind of a case studies in social justice answers in your GS1 as well as GS paper number 2. Now, moving on to the next article. Electoral season and restructuring the health system. This particular article we are going to see with respect to GS paper number 2, issues related to issues related to the health sector. Issues related to the health sector. Now, guys, we see this particular thing that 2024 elections are upcoming, and every year when there every 5 year when the elections are there, governments or the political parties, they come out with their political manifesto. In these manifesto, a lot of things are there. There are also the initiatives talking about the health, but actually what has happened on ground, much focus has not been given on the health. Now, guys, first of all, some basic things when we talk about the health, additional points, understand this thing, that Article 21 of the Indian Constitution talks about the right to life. And as per the Supreme Court, Bandhua Mukti Morcha case, as per the Supreme Court Bandhua Mukti Morcha case, Supreme Court has recognized that right to life includes the right to health. Right to health. Okay. Even in the past, Amartya Sen has made a suggestion that as we explicitly provided for right to education under Article 21A. Similarly, explicitly right to health is to be provided in the fundamental rights, but as of now, it is not an explicit right, it is an implicit right, and even Supreme Court in Bandhua Mukti Morcha case has realized it. Now, basically, the article says this thing that right now, immediately we need the health system reforms, and health system reforms should become the part of the electoral manifesto of the major political parties. Now, we see this particular thing that the different political parties have different approaches with respect to the health. Historically, BJP, Congress, both the political parties have put forward in their manifesto that they are going to revamp the healthcare system. but actually on the paper, on the ground, nothing much has happened. First of all, when we talk about the approaches of the different political parties, it is different how they see the health. For example, Congress views health as a public good and promotes more of an initiative which enhances the health accessibility at the ground level. For example, UPA, in which the Congress was the major coalition partner, they came out with the National Rural Health Mission, which significantly tried to provide the health to the people as a public good. Nobody should be discriminated in getting the health just for the sake of cost or money. However, BJP, it favors more of a public private partnership. They focuses more on efficiency. Congress focuses more on coverage. Okay. Now, even what has happened, the NDA came out with the National Medical Commission, expansion of medical education, insurance coverage. Okay. And there, wherever possible, they try to take the help of the private sector. For example, Ayushman Bharat Abhiyan was launched by the BJP. Under Ayushman Bharat Abhiyan, 5 lakh rupees of health insurance is provided, but you can take that particular treatment in government hospital, even in the private hospital you can take it. So what happens here, private facilities are integrated by the BJP. However, moving on, basically what has happened, guys, moreover, both the political parties have actually focused on the tertiary healthcare, but actually there is inadequate focus on primary and second care. Okay, and there is a disproportionate focus on tertiary care. You see this particular thing that every state they are trying to inaugurate aims. Okay, now they can provide excellent tertiary care, but primary healthcare is also needed to be focused. Now when we talk about countries such as Thailand, Turkey, now these all are not the developed countries, these are the emerging countries, but actually what they have done, they have brought substantial health reforms, and in the shorter period they have provided a kind of a universal health coverage. Now India can learn from their lessons, lessons, and can improve the fragmented approach that we are following. So basically a question comes that what needs to be done, what should be the way forward for India to improve the health outcome. Now number 1, we need to strengthen the primary health care. Now, guys, when we talk about the primary healthcare, it largely deals with the infectious diseases or the diseases such as cough, flu, fever. Now, understand this particular thing, guys, that often what is happening for small things such as the cough, flu, fever, we are going to secondary care facilities, we are going to tertiary care facilities. What happens? It overburdens them. Okay, so but why people are doing it? Because primary healthcare centers are not functional, or if they are there, they're functional, they don't have the adequate medicines, adequate staff, etc. So first of all, what we need to do, we need to focus on the primary health care. Okay, there was also the Alma Ata declaration on the primary health care, fine, which has also focused that primary healthcare is the most important segment in the health. Okay, then, secondly, what we need to focus upon, we need to reform strategies. We need to shift from fee for service model to more integrated health system, where capacity building is to be done. Now, understand this thing, that rather than center steering the health, center should focus on building capacity in the states, building capacity at a district level, building capacity at panchayat level, urban local body level, so that they are not dependent on the upper levels for every aspect of healthcare. Rather, they can redefine the contours of health at their own level. They can come out with a custom tailored approach at their own level. Then after that, the next is, there is the political shift and the policy shift that is required. So political leadership should prioritize the foundational health system. Okay, now understand this thing, that actually what happens if we inaugurate aims, okay, in some of a state where the elections are coming, it might get a lot of publicity, it will attract more eyeballs. You inaugurate a dispensary, you inaugurate a primary healthcare center, it might not be covered that much in the media. Politicians are often concerned that what will get them more publicity, fun, but long term they are not prioritizing. So it is immediately a change of mindset that is needed in the political leaders, that they prioritize the health system, foundational primary healthcare system. Also, there is an immediate need in bringing the changes in the medical curriculum. Okay, so that the empathy, compassion, serving the poor people. Such things can be added. There should be a ban on a dual practice among healthcare professionals. So many of the healthcare professionals, they are enrolled or empaneled in a hospital, and at the same time they are doing the private, they're operating a private clinic also. Often what happens, they give disproportionate time in their private practice, and that takes the cost on the public practice that they need to do. So such a dual practice needs to be banned. Then next thing that is there is the decentralization and accountability. Decentralization and accountability. So already we have in fact discussed the decentralization, that what needs to be done. Health system needs to be decentralized. Fine, lower levels need to be given more flexibility. Fine, how they want to take over the health. Fine, equity should be emphasized. Human dignity, trust should be emphasized. Okay, IT solutions should be used for the health services. Okay, for example, for example, there is the telemedicine that has made a lot of advances. Okay, and Sanjeevani initiative is also there. So we need to use them. Then after that, there needs to be a long term vision with respect to the health. There needs to be a long term vision with respect to the health. Fine, as I discussed, that political leaders, they often focus that what will get them more votes, rather than that long term focus is needed. And also we need to bring these, all the things that we have discussed are needed to be implemented immediately, and only that will reduce the hospitalization demand, will reduce the disease incidence, out of pocket expenditure, and everything. That is all, guys, about this particular article. I hope that you have understood it. And with this, now we'll move to the next article. On financial devolution among states. On financial devolution among states. Now we are going to discuss this particular article with respect to the GS paper number 2, issues related to the fiscal federalism. Issues related to the fiscal federalism. Okay. Also, you can see this particular article with respect to the GS paper number 3, public finance. Public finance. So let's get started with this particular article. So basically, guys, what has happened recently, government has notified that they are constituting the 16th Finance Commission. 16th Finance Commission. And when we talk about this particular 16th Finance Commission, 16th Finance Commission, it will be led by Dr. Arvind Panagadia. Okay, 16th Finance Commission will be led by Dr. Arvind Panagadia and will provide the recommendation for period of 26-2031. Now, let's discuss that what is this Finance Commission. So basically, guys, we have Article 217 in the Constitution of India, and Article 270 defines the divisible pool of taxes. Divisible pool of taxes. So basically, guys, government is collecting a lot of taxes. For example, there is the corporation tax where money is being collected. There is a personal tax, money collected. Central GST is there. Central share of the IGST is there. Okay. So a lot of taxes are being collected. Now, as per Article 270, these particular taxes are to be shared between the center and the state. And how much is to be given to center, how much is to be given to the state? For that, Finance Commission will come and will give the formula. And there is Article 280. So under Article 280, President after every 5 year, President after every 5 year will constitute a Finance Commission. And what will be the role of Finance Commission? To recommend that how, as per Article 270, tax money is to be divided between the center as well as the state. Now, Finance Commission also gives the formula with respect to vertical devolution. It gives the formula with respect to the vertical devolution as well as with respect to the horizontal devolution. Let's understand what is vertical devolution. Let's say 100 rupees were collected. Just a minute, guys. Guys, just give me 1 minute. Okay. So let's say 100 rupees are collected by the center. Now, out of 100 rupees, how many is to be given to the states? Let's say 41 rupees are to be given to the states. What is this? This is the vertical devolution. How many total the money from the total, how much will be going to the state? That is the vertical. But see, out of this 41 rupees, how much every state will be getting? How much every state will be getting? How much UP will be getting? How much Bihar will be getting? How much MP will be getting? How much Kerala will be getting? That is also to be decided. So out of that 41, how much every state is going to get? That is the horizontal devolution. So Finance Commission suggests the vertical devolution as well as the horizontal devolution. Now, guys, when we talk about this particular devolution, so understand this particular thing that 14th Finance Commission, 14th Finance Commission has increased the share of the states. Okay. Till 13th Finance Commission, 32% of the money was to be given to the states. 14th Finance Commission said that, okay, we are going to increase it to 42%. Right now, 15th Finance Commission is going on. 15th Finance Commission brought it to 41%. Why 15th Finance Commission brought it to 41%? Why? Because, guys, you already might be knowing that in 2019, Jammu and Kashmir became a union territory. Jammu and Kashmir became a union territory. And being a union territory, the expenditure there will be done by the central government. So, therefore, as Jammu and Kashmir is not a separate state now, so this particular was compensated. So, there is 41% that is now being given. Now, the 16th Finance Commission is being constituted. So, what 16th Finance Commission is going to suggest? We need to see this particular thing in the times to come. However, guys, what actually has happened? What actually has happened? Now, when we talk about this basis for allocation, how the money is to be divided, what is the basis of allocation? So, 41% was given. It was recommended by the 15th Finance Commission already we have seen. Now, this particular allocation is decided on many parameters. For example, income distance. Now, guys, you understand this particular thing. Let's say there are on one hand, there are the rich states. For example, Maharashtra is a rich state. Then let's say there are the poor states. For example, comparatively poor, let's say Bihar is there. Okay. Now, when we talk about the income distance, so basically, what is the difference in terms of the GSDP of these two states? Okay. Then the next is population. Population. Fine. Now, earlier population of 1970 population for population 1971 census data was also used, but now government is moving only on the 2011 census. Then forest cover, ecology, demographic performance, tax efforts, all these things. Basically, the states are ranked and then they are given a particular percentage of share out of this 41% that is total. Now, this particular criteria has been brought so that a kind of a sense of an equity can be brought into the states. Now, actually, guys, what has happened? States, particularly the southern Indian states, they have certain concerns. So, the first concern that is there is the exclusion of cess and surcharge. It is the exclusion of the cess and surcharge. So, basically, what has happened? You see this particular thing that what actually has happened in the past, center government has also brought a lot of cess, lot of surcharges also over and above the taxes that they are collecting. But this cess and surcharge money is not to be shared with the state government. Now, what has happened? State government are saying that a lot of money, now a lot of new tax or cess or cent surcharge have been imposed and their percentage have also been increased. So they are not divided. States want that these cess and surcharge should also be divided. Then the next issue that comes here is that there is a sense of a disparity in the tax revenue sharing. So basically, it has been said that what total is recommended and what actually they're getting on the ground, there is a lot of difference. For example, 15th Finance Commission recommended that 41% will be given, but actually they are not getting this 41%. Also, basically, what is happening, industrialized states, they are receiving less. It is said that, okay, let poor states get more money. Industrialized states are getting less. So industrialized states, particularly the states in the south and the west, they are complaining. They are saying that is it our mistake that we have got industrialized? So you give us the money. Then the criteria for horizontal devolution. Now, guys, if you remember, I told you this particular thing that actually what has happened, population is now being chosen as a criteria, and in population, now 1971 census data is not being used, 2011 census data is being used. So basically, what has happened, it is being said that South Indian states over the last few years they have reduced their population. UP, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, their population has went up. So basically, if you are going to use the updated census, that is 2011 census, the states which are most populous will get the more money. So first, these states have not controlled the population. Secondly, they are getting more money also. So southern state says that this is a kind of a discrimination with us. So there are certain suggestions that have been given for the improvement by which there can be the parity in the division of taxes that can be brought. Number one is expand the divisible pool. Expand the divisible pool. Okay. So basically, Basically, what is happening? Suppose there are 1 lakh crore rupees that are now coming and are being distributed. You also include the cess and the surcharge there in this particular fund. Let's say it becomes 1.5 lakh crore rupees. So this will enhance the divisible pool, also include the surcharge and cess which have not been included. Revise the allocation criteria. So basically increase the weightage for efficiency in the allocation. Efficient states, they should be given more money. Industrialized states, their share should be reconsidered. Enhancing the state participation in finance commission. Now finance commission, when it gives a recommendation, it is said that it does not take the state government's point of view. So basically state governments, state ministers, etc. should also be given a stake in the finance commission so that they can influence their decision. Okay. So this is, guys, all what has come in this particular direction. I hope that you have understood it. And now moving to the next article. Now moving to the next article. Now this particular article specifically we are going to see with respect to the prelims examination. So what has happened? So recently, Kapilvastu relics were in news. Kapilvastu relics were in news. So basically, guys, what is happening? Bone fragments of Lord Buddha, which are referred to as Kapilvastu relics. Right now, they are housed in the National Museum. They will be taken to Thailand. Okay. So Kapilvastu relics, that is the relics of Lord Buddha, are now being taken to Thailand. So therefore, it is a news. In prelims, they can simply ask the question that recently Kapilvastu relics were in news. What are they? They are the relics of Buddha. They are the relics of the Bodhisattvas. They are the relics of some other Buddhist leader, teacher, etc. They can say. Okay. Now, when we talk about Kapilvastu relics, now these particular relics were unearthed or they were found from Piparava, okay, in Uttar Pradesh, Siddharth Nagar district, okay, which was formerly earlier the part of the city. Kapilvastu city. So, as it was earlier the part of the Kapilvastu city and it was found there, it is called as the Kapilvastu relics. Now, these particular relics were discovered by the British colonial engineer William Claxton. Okay. Also, basically, this particular relics they were found in a in a casket, okay, in a container, and that lid of the container mentioned that it is the relics of the Buddha and his community name, that is the Shakya community, was also written. Also, it has been said, now this is there. Now, when we talk about the history of the Lord Buddha, specifically for our ancient and ardent culture, so according to Buddhist beliefs, Buddha attained the salvation at the age of 80 in Kushinagar district in Uttar Pradesh. His body was cremated by the Mallas of the Kushinagar, and the ceremonies which are fitted for a universal king, they were carried. Fine. And these relics, initially what happened, they were divided into the 8 shares and were distributed amongst the different rulers. And the stupas were erected over these relics. Then what actually happened? Ashoka, he opened the 7 of the 8 stupas, fine, and they redistributed the relics over a lot of other thousands of the stupas that he built to propagate the Buddhism during his period. So this is about the Kapilvastu relics and the basic aspects of Buddhism. Fine. Now moving to the next article. Raisina Dialogue is in news. Why Raisina Dialogue is in news? Because now the 9th edition of Raisina Dialogue will be held in New Delhi from 21st to 23rd February. Now, what is Raisina Dialogue? Raisina Dialogue, in simple words, is an annual conference on geopolitics, okay, geoeconomics, strategy that is held. Now, this particular conference is held annually in Delhi, and from 2016, this particular conference is being held. Now, this particular conference is organized, okay, or is attended by the people from politics, business, media, civil society. Fine. Now, when we talk about who hosts this particular summit, Raisina Dialogue, this Raisina Dialogue is organized by the Observer Research Foundation (ORF), as well as Ministry of External Affairs, Government of India. Okay. Now, what is the theme of 2024 edition? 2024 edition theme is Chaturanga. That is conflict, contest, cooperate, and create. Okay. Fine. So Chaturang, conflict, contest, cooperate, and create is the theme for 2024. And this particular conference, it will be held on 6 thematic pillars. What are these 6 thematic pillars? Next is the first is the tech frontiers. Okay, technology frontiers, regulation, realities, peace and the planet, war and peace, decolonizing multilateralism, the post 2030 agenda, and defending democracy. These are the six themes that will be discussed. Okay. Now, when we talk about the eighth edition, it was held in 2023, and the theme was power play, shifting sands, strategic realities. Power play, shifting sands, strategic realities. Okay. So this is that eighth edition that has already been held. So that is all, guys, about it. And now moving to the next one, impact of climate change on pollinators. Now, guys, basically pollinators in the form of the insects, honeybee, they play a very important role in the pollination of seeds, and indirectly they are the one which ensure the food security, nutritional security of the world by carrying the adequate pollination. Now, actually, what is happening? The climate change, it is leading to mismatched plant cycles and pollinator behavior. Basically, guys, what has happened recently, it has been observed in the apple production in the Himalaya. Let's see what is happening. Temperature is going down, and as the temperature is going down, there is the early flowering that is happening. So, for example, just taking hypothetically, suppose earlier the flowering, let's say, was happening in the month of December. Just an example. Now, let's say the flowering is happening in the month of October. In the month of October, so flowering cycle has been shifted back. Why it is shifting? Because of the temperature rise that is happening. Now understand this thing, that when flowering is happening, at that point of a time, basically dispersal via pollination is to be done. But at that point of a time, pollinators, insects, bees, or any other type of pollinators, they are not present. So basically what is happening, a mismatch of flowering and pollinator cycle has happened. Now, when we talk about these pollinators, they are very much important for ecosystem stability, food production, biodiversity conservation, economic benefit, medicinal plant availability, reproduction, okay, of flowering plants, etc. So this is something that has happened. Now, what actually are happening? Because the natural pollinators are not there, the orchid farmers, what they are doing, they are importing honeybees and they are importing other type of pollinators. So basically, guys, this is having a major impact on the agricultural and food production in the world. Okay, this is something there. Fine. Apart from that, what is actually happening? There is an increased UV absorption that is happening in the flowers. Okay. Okay. There is the elevated atmospheric carbon dioxide, fine, which attract herbivores, which also impact the pollination. Invasive species are also impacting the productivity. Fine. So this is something that has happened, and immediately we need to come out with the solutions for such problems. Now, moving on. And guys, for the mapping, today we are going to take the Germany. Today for mapping, we are going to cover Germany. Now, why we are going to cover Germany? Because, guys, recently what has happened, the 60th 60. So recently what happened, 60th 60 Munich Security Conference was convened. Now, what is the Munich Security Conference? Munich Security Conference is annual meeting where the leaders, academicians, largely from the member countries of NATO, they come together and they discuss the important geopolitical matters. Now, not only from NATO, mainly from the NATO. Now, this year in the Munich Security Conference, what has happened? These members have come and they have largely discussed the Ukraine conflict that is going on and NATO unity, whether Ukraine conflict can impact the NATO unity. Now, this Munich Security Conference, it is also called as the Davos of Defense. The name Davos comes because the World Economic Forums meet happen in Davos every year, which is a high profile meeting. So, this is the Davos of Defense. Now, here what has happened, External Affairs Minister Mr. S. Jaishankar also visited and highlighted India's non-Western position without adopting an anti-Western stance. We said that neither we are with the West nor we are against the West. So this is something that has happened. Now, when we talk about Germany, let's see that which are the major neighbors of the Germany. Which are the major neighbors of the Germany? Okay. So if we talk about the neighbors of the Germany, we have here Denmark, then we have Poland, we have Czech Republic, we have Australia, we have Switzerland, then we have France, we have Luxembourg, we have Belgium, we have Netherlands, and here we have the North Sea. Here we have the North Sea. North Sea. Now, guys, when we talk about the mountains, we find this particular thing. Just a minute. Fine. When we talk about the mountains, here we find this particular thing that there are the Ore mountains that are there. Fine. Then there are the Bavarian Alps that are there on the southern side, Bavarian Alps that are there. Okay. Also, guys, Bohemian Forest, Black Forest are there. Fine, fine. Yes. So here in the south, you can see Bavarian Alps. Here you can see Bohemian Forest. Here you can see Black Forest. Here you can see the Ore Mountains that are there. Now, also, guys, when we talk about the city of Berlin, when we talk about the Munich, where this particular conference has happened, so it is in the southern part of the Germany. Here you can see that the Munich conference, it was held here. Now, when we talk about the neighbors, I have written the names of the neighbor here in the note also. For example, Denmark is there in the north. Denmark is there in the north. Poland and Czech Republic. Poland and Czech Republic are there in the east. Switzerland. Now, Switzerland is the only non-European Union member or neighbor. Only non-European Union neighbor. Then we have the Austria, France. All these have been there. Now, guys, when we talk about the maritime border, so Germany shares the maritime border. Germany shares the maritime border with the Sweden in the north and the United Kingdom in the northwest. So here you can see that we have Germany, okay, and we share a water border on. We have a maritime neighbor of Sweden, and here we have the United Kingdom. United Kingdom. Now, when we talk about the major rivers of the Germany, Rhine, Elbe, and Danube is the major cities. Okay, capital is Berlin, and the temperature, the climate is temperate, marine. Okay, so this is, guys, all about it. So with this, we come to an end to this particular session, and I will insist that please download the synoptic notes from the Telegram channel, because in the notes you will get all the content that I have discussed here. So that is all, guys, about it. And with this, we come to an end to the today's session. So that is all for today. Tomorrow we will be meeting. And guys, if you have liked the session, please do hit the like button. And please do let us know that how well you are liking it. Also, please attempt the questions, okay, in the Telegram channel. That is all, guys, about it. Thank you so much.